Hi friends, this is Mangla Pratap and Muralitharan talking about reflective language teaching. Teacher reflections play a vital role in empowering the learners to learn things faster and better in these days. And teacher reflections can be useful only when teachers have a lot of time to contemplate on what kind of strategies they make use of while teaching various types of learners. Now, this has to be really worked on from time to time. I would say it is easy to work on only when teacher understands the difficulties that learners face. We have to keep in mind the various backgrounds of learners' exposure, learning potential of the learner, learning capacity, or rather exposure to the learning solutions of the fellow learners, and the supportive learning environment available not just in the school, also at home. And what are the other informal ways or means of learning that learner has access to? So these are things that we have to really keep in mind while discussing teacher reflection. So teachers have to reflect on all the above set criteria in order to make learning quite effective. Learning can be quite joyous, a process of rediscovering one's new talents or new capacity building of the learners or skill enhancement, etc. can happen only if learners are quite keen on understanding the benefits of learning, for which teacher plays a vital role. Teacher as an enthusiastic learning facilitator, she or he ought to be quite innovative in coming up with interesting anecdotes, stories, or folk tales, or for that matter, some learning models, or creating animated movies, or using a lot of audio input or visual input in terms of creating a poster or making a short movie, etc. So these are going to help learners to think more about learning beyond the classroom. So learning beyond the classroom has to be an agenda of every teacher. And it has to go along with the parental guidance. And the parents have to have some time to allocate for their children to see how learning is quite interesting in their children. But that's again is a very tough process to reflect on, because there are a lot of challenges in making that a reality. But I would say teachers could possibly think about reflecting on the sort of strategies that they make use of on a day-to-day basis. How is it possible? It is possible when teachers have clarity on the kind of learner groups available in a classroom, and strategizing their teaching process in accordance with the learning interests of the learners, and looking at the past experience of teaching, identify what attracts the learners, could be something that the teacher has to keep in mind, because the teacher has to go on creating new tasks based on the previous teaching experience that she or he has. But that's something which the teachers have to really contemplate on a day-to-day basis. There has to be a kind of an interaction or a discussion among teachers about it. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult. These are some of the best strategies that I think could be useful for teachers to think about and make use of in making learning very effective, quite easier for students. Teachers also have another important responsibility to customize the learning process. They can customize the learning process by ensuring that they can take the day-to-day realia, that is real-life tasks. So these real-life tasks are of some use for them to understand how learning can be highly productive and enriching experience for learners in general. But that's something that we have to really work on, because providing realia on a daily basis is not so easy unless the teachers have a lot of time to create tasks and think about it, etc. For that, learners have to be highly collaborative and cooperative, and learners themselves can make use of those opportunities of being quite innovative to come up with strategies and techniques for using realia on their own by looking at the previous models that the teacher happened to use. So these are some of the strategies that I think reflective teaching could possibly bring in. It is not necessarily that you have to use what is already available in teaching methodology. Instead, you can think about being quite interesting as a teacher. What sort of interesting anecdotes or strategies that you can make use of to make the learning process quite interesting for the learners, and how could we create enthusiasm among the learners to participate in the process of learning, guiding them on a day-to-day basis and counseling them whenever they face difficulties, and understanding the learning stress that they have and helping them to overcome the learning stress could be some of the best strategies that we can adopt to make learning quite successful. I wish I have already talked much about this area, but anyway, whatever I've done is what I can do at the moment. So you just try to think about reflective language teaching, and you can share your suggestions and ideas with me. I'm sure that I will think about another video to explore this further. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye bye.